The St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup Champions for the first time ever. Okay, play the song. That's right, guys. The St. Louis Blues have done it. The team that was in last place on January 1st. Yeah, if I look like a mess, I tear up every time, okay? But in all seriousness, before I get into the details of this Game 7, just wanted to give a huge thank you to everybody who has subscribed, everybody who's reached out and supported this. It has always been my whole passion since I was 4 years old when I first cried watching Messier lift it because I didn't know how to handle all of that emotion. I am going to absolutely be continuing to cover everything hockey throughout the summer. We've got the draft coming up. Of course, Rangers get the second pick, so thank you so much. Let's get into what happened tonight. They did come up 4-2, despite the fact that they were outshot 33-20, and the first few minutes, Jordan Binnington, he is such a passionate goalie, and if you watched my pregame, I was saying, there is not a goalie in the world that I would want to face after they are coming off of a loss. He comes out of this loss, and yes, everybody is passionate about winning, but I think that Jordan Binnington is more passionate about how much he hates to lose. He was a brick wall, and while the Blues had a little bit of a slower start, he just kept him in it. With that being said, the Boston Bruins, great team. They have so much talent and so much experience. That didn't show. The Bruins, from the start, had this issue with that first line. They had this issue with these three most talented, most experienced players. Marchand, Pasternak, Bergeron. They were not showing up. And that is going to trickle down to the younger players, and it really did. Just going to say it. What I absolutely believe held the Bruins on as long as they did was the incredible performance by Tuukka Rask throughout every single game, as well as the fact that they had Captain Zdeno Chara. He was keeping them in check despite the fact that the top performers were not performing at all. So going into tonight's game, one of the first things I noticed was that Tuukka Rask he seemed slow. He seemed off. He did not have that same fluidity. He did not have that same very obvious concentration just in his stance, just in the way that he was scanning the ice, and he was aware of the puck at all times. And I would not be surprised if it came out that maybe he was battling an injury or something was going on, because the Tuukka Rask that was out there tonight was shaky. And I picked up on that pretty quickly. Something else that I picked up on as far as the Bruins go, every time that they had the opportunity to shoot, and yes, they did outshoot the Blues 33-20, but their shots seemed last minute. It seemed as if a lot of the time they have an opportunity to shoot, but it was a last second decision. Am I going to pass? Okay, I'll shoot. And the way that Jordan Binnington was playing tonight, if you are not committed to your shot, he's stopping it. The other thing that I noticed about the Bruins was they were looking to everybody else for answers. Specifically, the first goal scored. You've got a tip in on Ryan O'Reilly. The St. Louis Blues take a shot, and Rask saves it, but they get the rebound, they get it back. They get the puck back, take it around, and all of the Bruins are back. And all of the Blues come back. The Blues have all of this room. They're passing around. The shot off Bouwmeester was scored with every Bruin watching. So as time goes on, there is one penalty called in the first period, the sole penalty called in the entire game, and it was a delay of game. Colton Parayko puts the puck over the glass, have to call that, delay game. That was the only time I really saw a glimpse of any of the push or the aggression behind the Bruins that we had seen the entire playoffs. That was the only time they seemed to have any kind of organization or confidence in their play. 3 shots, 3 quick ones on Binnington. He's not having it, done, shuts him down. And that was really it. Then we get to the final seconds of the first period, and I do not know what the hell Marchand was thinking, yes, I make fun of him all the time, but he's an incredible player. He is experienced, he is talented, he has so much ability on the ice, and the reason I don't like him is because he is so talented, he doesn't need to be such a dick or pull those stupid moves. But whatever. The seconds are dwindling down. Yeah, you're on a long shift, but it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. So Pietrangelo is pushing up, and Marchand goes for the line change, and he just sees Pietrangelo just skates away and is wide open. And not even once was Marchand like, oh, like turn, like maybe I should go. It seems like he just drops his shoulders and skates off and gets off. Pietrangelo, boom, done. 2-0 St. Louis Blues going into the first intermission. Second period comes. It's pretty even, back and forth. They're trying. And of course, yes, they still have the aggression and they're still taking shots, but there's no follow through at all. The only thing that really stood out so much in the second period was this wild shot by Schenn that went off of Rask's stick, bounces off the pipe. Somehow, how it didn't go in, I don't know, but that's really it. But third period starts, Schenn gets what was robbed from him, and he makes it 3-0. This point, it's done. I went and got more pizza. It was done. And it kind of all dawned on me at this point. This Boston Bruins team was crumbling because of a huge crack in the foundation that had brought them this far. Coming into this series, you've got your 3 top performers not showing up. Their saving grace was obviously Tuukka Rask being unbelievable, but also Chara. The second Chara got hurt during Game 4, the fact that they needed to bring him back out and sit on the bench, even though his jaw was broken and he was bleeding everywhere, just for moral support. And then you go to Game 5, and I don't know why they would play him. They needed him on the ice because nobody else was going to step up and take the lead. However, you can't fake taking the lead. Everybody knew that he was seriously injured. He was slower. His shifts were shorter. And any hope of morale or team unity that is going to come from him being on the ice is not. So, Game 6, it was just that final push. Game 6 was the only Boston Bruins game that I saw where their 5-on-5 play was the only game that they stepped up and truly showed, oh wait, they're the Bruins. Not today. All fell apart, and truthfully, it starts at the top. That is how I see it. That is why I think whatever the Bruins did tonight happened. I think that was the absolute cause of how this all ended. Again, like I said before, I would not be surprised if we find out that there was something wrong with Rask. He was definitely off tonight. Maybe he was hurt. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. But what I do know, St. Louis has got it for the first time ever. We will all be hearing Gloria again. Thank you guys so much. For everybody who's rooting for the Blues, congratulations. Enjoy it. I will see you all in the next one. And until then, congratulations to the St. Louis Blues. Okay, I'll play the song again.